Okay, I'm excited because we're going to start learning the poses. This first day that we learn the poses will take a little bit longer. I'll be explaining several of the components that'll be consistent across all of the poses. They're named for goddesses. We're going to begin with Venus today. So we'll start from the bottom up with a lot of the characteristics that will help to reduce intra-abdominal pressure, which is one of the really fun things about low pressure fitness. So beginning with your feet, they're going to be about hip distance apart. This is not that wide. Shoulder distance is a little bit wider where we tend to get if we want to do a squat. This is going to be hip distance apart. You could take the length of your hand, place it between your feet, and that's a pretty good indicator of how wide your feet should be. Then moving up, you want your knees to be soft, not really bent, but also not locked out. So a soft knee would look something like this. Not bent, not locked out, just soft, soft bend. Coming up to the pelvis, you want to get kind of in touch with what is a neutral pelvic position. So in other words, if this were a bowl, the bowl would not be tipped forward, and the bowl would also not be tucked under and tipped back. For a lot of us, we might have to adjust our bowl back just a little bit so that it's a little more upright. This puts our low back in an improved neutral position and helps with the spinal elongation as we're doing the poses. Then your rib cage should be not sunk back, not lifted way up. Sometimes in yoga, the rib cage is really lifted up. We're looking to just stack the rib cage directly on top. Knees are a little bent, and then come into the shoulders. Okay, in the shoulders, we're always working to widen the shoulders. So you're thinking about a line going out through your fingertips and growing wider. So they're down, but they're not down and back. They're down and expanded wide out to the side. Okay, that really engages a lot of the serratus anterior and helps to increase lateral costal rib expansion, which also helps to decrease intra-abdominal pressure. And then the head should be lengthened through the back of the spine, a little bit of a nod through the chin, just so you feel really tall through there. Okay? So, from the front, Venus, feet hip distance apart, knees soft, pelvis neutral. Go ahead and try this with me. Trunk stacked on top, head is pulled back just a little bit, lengthened through the crown of the head, and the arms for Venus are either going to be low, medium, or high. We're going to start with low and think about reaching through the fingertips wide. Can you see how my shoulders kind of start here if I'm relaxed and I'm making them go wider? Okay, the last piece is something that's called axis forward, and this gives us a really active line up the back of our body. So the axis forward piece is just a little lean, okay? Nothing else changed in my body. I'm leaning just a little bit like I was trying to look over a cliff, but everything else the same. And from here, this is where we begin the breathing cycle. Let's do 3. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, and exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one before we try our apnea. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe in and let it out. And that's Venus.